Every soul is born with a spark. But in this modern age, that spark is in danger, hidden behind screens, drowned in an ocean of endless scrolling, and smothered by the weight of comparison. You sit there watching other people live their dreams thinking, maybe I'm not meant for more. And that is the biggest lie you've been told. Let me tell you something, young one. The kings and queens of this world were not born with crowns. They were born just like you, confused, broke, overlooked, underestimated. The only difference? They made a decision. I will not stay here. They fought battles you'll never see. They worked when no one was watching. They refused to let comfort be their cage. You want to rule your world? Then rule yourself first. Wake up when the world tells you to keep sleeping. Speak when fear tells you to be quiet. Learn while others waste their hours. Move forward when everyone else is standing still. Because here's the truth. You have the same 24 hours as every billionaire, every leader, every legend you admire. The throne is not reserved for the lucky, it's built by the relentless. Stop waiting for motivation to find you. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission. The crown is already in your hands, but only you can choose to wear it. Give me a few minutes and let's dive into timeless wisdom that will help you get out of bed, stand out, and rule yourself and rule the world. Greatness is never an accident, it is built with discipline. Great leaders are not born with crowns, but forged in sacrifice, sleepless nights, and decisions no one else was willing to make. The greatest athletes you admire did not rise because of talent alone, but because they woke up when others slept, trained when others gave up, and carried pain that most would run from. Every successful entrepreneur has a story of rejection. Every artist has a season of being ignored. Every champion has a history of struggle that shaped their strength. Their journeys remind us that power does not come from comfort, but from consistent daily choices that transform ordinary people into extraordinary ones. And in this video, we are going to go beyond empty motivational speeches. Together, we'll uncover the daily habits that can reveal the strong one you were always destined to be. Sleeping early to wake up with purpose. Did you know that going to bed early is not just about rest? It is a shield. When you stay up deep into the night, that is when your weakest habits creep in. Late nights lead to endless scrolling, harmful content filling your mind, and even replaying old wounds, thinking about ex-lovers or regrets. But when you discipline yourself to sleep early, you shut the door to those distractions. You wake up before the noise of the world with a clear mind and a stronger spirit. And in that quiet morning, you are already ahead of millions who are still trapped in yesterday's habits. The 5 a.m. Club philosophy shows that those who start their day with intention instead of distraction live ahead of time itself. Silence the noise of comparison. Krishnamurti taught that true freedom begins when we observe our thoughts without judgment. Comparison is the thief of joy, but more importantly, it is the chain of your mind. When we stop measuring ourselves against others, rule yourself by focusing on your own path, and the world will notice. When you scroll through Instagram or watch the shining life of celebrities, old classmates, or even strangers, you might feel a weight pressing on your chest. A voice whispers, "Look how far they are," and "Look where you are." But here's the truth most forget. Nobody publishes their failures. They only show you the polished fragments of their life. Behind those perfect smiles and luxury photos, they are battling struggles you will never see. The stage looks glamorous, but the backstage is full of scars, doubts, and tears. Remember this, their highlight reel is not your reality. Don't measure your worth against someone else's temporary moment. Walk your path, because the world needs your story, not a copy of theirs. Discipline over motivation. Do you know what dopamine really is? It's often called the brain's reward molecule. It drives motivation, pleasure, and learning. But here's the catch. Dopamine can be triggered by anything. A late-night binge, alcohol, a hazy night at a bar where you slept with a bartender. Those dopamine hits? They feel good in the moment, but they don't strengthen your spirit. They erode it. Now contrast that with discipline. Discipline unlocks dopamine the right way, the kind that fuels your soul. When you're an athlete pushing through training at dawn, a musician practicing the same riff again and again, or a tech creator coding your dreams into life, that dopamine is earned. It comes from progress, consistency, growth. Your brain rewards you for act of becoming stronger, smarter, better. Neuroscience confirms this. Sustained healthy habits wire the brain's dopamine system so that anticipation itself brings the same reward as the outcome. Discipline is not just an act, it's a neurochemical transformation. Motivation might be a spark, but discipline builds the furnace. And when that furnace burns long and steady, you become unshakable. Embrace failure as a teacher. Friedrich Nietzsche believed failure was not an enemy, but fuel. He saw struggle as the fire that tempers the steel of your spirit. To fall and rise again is not weakness. It is the path to becoming who you truly are. Even Machiavelli reminded us that misfortune is not the end, but the training ground of wisdom. When fortune turns against you, it forces you to sharpen your mind, adapt your strategy, and prepare for the moment opportunity rises again. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the path to success. The problem today is that we are conditioned to hide our failures because online, everyone is showing their highlight reel. But behind every champion, there are hundreds of hidden losses. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Steve Jobs was fired from the very company he created. Yet those moments didn't destroy them. They refined them. Failure carries lessons that comfort never will. Each time you stumble, ask, "What is this teaching me?" If you embrace failure instead of fearing it, you gain power that most people will never dare to touch. Seek wisdom, not just information. In our modern world, knowledge is cheap. It lives in your pocket, waiting for a Google search or a scroll through social media. But wisdom? That is rare. Wisdom is knowing how to live, not just what to know. It is learning the systems of the modern world, finance, technology, science, but grounding them in the ancient truths of discipline, virtue, and self-mastery. Socrates reminded us that wisdom begins in humility. Confucius taught that knowledge without morality is dangerous. And Jung revealed that true growth happens when modern minds connect with ancient truths. To seek wisdom is to not just consume information, but to shape your life with it. From the dawn of civilization, humanity has asked the same question: what makes some rise while others fall? Why do certain individuals carve their names into history, while others remain forgotten in the shadows? We've journeyed through ancient wisdom, modern psychology, and timeless truths, and one answer keeps returning: greatness begins within. But now the question passes to you. Will you wake with purpose or remain trapped in midnight scrolling? Will you stand firm in discipline or chase empty pleasures that vanish like smoke? Will you build your world step by step or let fear of failure chain you down? And most importantly, will you rule yourself or be ruled by everything around you? Because here lies the truth. Empires rise and collapse, technologies evolve and fade, but the battle for self-mastery never ends. Those who win it shape the future. Those who lose it vanish into the noise. So take what you've heard today and do more than listen. Live it, for the greatest kingdom you will ever rule is the one within.